As you all know, I'm a sports physical therapist, so you must be wondering if I'm here to talk about pain, some sort of discomfort, maybe workout fitness, or some sports, or maybe some new treatment technique, right? But today, I'm here to talk about something bigger than that, and that is our emotions. Imagine that emotional pain and that emotional discomfort you can't openly talk about. It hurts, right? So, I'm going to talk about some techniques to overcome that and some workouts, emotional workouts to strengthen your mind. So, what are emotions? These are some neurophysiological changes that happen inside our body due to external factors like feeling, behavioral changes, emotions, um, maybe some pleasure or displeasure. So, let me give you an example. Imagine a man begins his day, gets ready to go to office in his car. There's a huge traffic making him crazy and he can't move from his place. So he just looks outside the window and there's a pile of garbage, adding on to the feeling of disgusting. Then he somehow reaches office and has a really bad day. And then he comes home, looking at him, उसका छोटा सा बच्चा अंदर भागता है और उसकी मम्मा को बोलता है कि मम्मा मम्मा लगता है कि पापा गुस्से में है, शायद उनके बॉस का मूड आज ठीक नहीं होगा. Then it affects their mood indirectly. Somehow, then he sits to watch news, and whatever is happening all over the world makes him more anxious. Then he feels like, let me go to bed. He gets up and gets up from the couch to go to bed and steps on a Lego, and that makes him really angry and it pains as well. So he scolds his child and goes to bed thinking what a pathetic day it was. Now, let me give you another example. Same man, same scenarios, but different approach. The man gets up in the morning, has his morning ritual like some workout or meditation. So his energy levels are already high. Then the same traffic, he's in his car, but instead of cribbing, he's using that time to maybe plan the day or prepare some presentation or do some stretches sitting in the place or maybe listen to some good music. He reaches office, has a productive day, and whatever stress he has, he keeps it there, comes home happily, and looks at his kid, gives him a hug, and even if he steps on a Lego, he knows that it's just a child and he's supposed to make a mess, right? So he goes to bed, spending good time with family, thinking what a great day it was. So the person is the same, the external scenarios are same, but the only thing that is different is the approach, the choices, and how you respond to those situations. I have learned certain things really, really hard way, and I want you to learn from my mistakes and do something meaningful with your life. So, I would like to share my story. I was born in a typical Orthodox middle class family in a very small town called Malegaon, which is developed now, but back then, when I was born and when I was growing up, people used to say to my father, Are, वंशाला दिवाना है मिळाला. It's in my Marathi language, which means it's sad that you have a girl child. There should have been a boy because girls are liabilities and boys are the backbone who take care of you when you grow old, or they are the ones who carry your legacy further. I have an uncle and aunt who live in a metro city, and they used to influence most of the decisions of my life. My father used to consult with them uh, for out of love and respect, and secondly, like every other parent, they wanted what is best for me. So uh, my most of maternal and paternal family is from a teaching background, and they had my life planned for me, like she's gonna grow up, study till PhD and become a professor, as it is very respectable and a safe job for a woman. But destiny had its own plan. I wanted to become a doctor, and my aunt told my father that physiotherapy is really good. She came with me, and I'm really grateful for that. I got admission in a government medical college in Mumbai, and honestly, I didn't even know what physiotherapy was at that time. On my day one in the OPD, when the therapist was treating a patient, I was like, this is not something that I want to do. I wanted to become a surgeon. And I was wondering, where's the emergency? I don't want to be a physical trainer. And then, as time started passing by, eventually, when patients used to come and tell the therapists that, you know, they feel so good that they don't have to undergo the surgical pain, they do not have to take medicines, but just with this, they got better. And that time, I really felt like I'm not just giving someone life, but I'm adding quality to their lives. And that made me fall in love with my profession. And I'm so proud of it today. This time, I just didn't want to rely on my destiny to do something for me. I wanted to create my own. So I wanted to do specialization in sports. And I started looking for the universities all over the world, whichever is best. And I found one. And I talked to my parents about it. They were really concerned. And I didn't go. I was angry for a while, but then I did not let that affect me. I turned that pain into power and I started looking for the various options that I can still achieve that dream. I kept searching and looking, and one day I got a call that there is 3 years of specialization course has started and there are only 2 seats in the university. But I wanted something a little more. Then they told me, I asked them, who's the guide? And they told me, your teacher is the person who has specialized his techniques from the university that I wanted to study in. I was so happy and I didn't even realize, but unknowingly, I was manifesting my dreams. And I felt that I couldn't reach my dreams, but my dreams have reached me. So if you really want something bad enough, then there's nothing that can stop you from achieving that. Trust me. I was thirsty to learn something new all the time. I wanted to explore my field more than just a clinical setup. So I started looking for opportunities wherever I get to be on field. I started with local tournaments, and I still remember when I got my first opportunity to travel abroad or to travel with a sports team. I called up my parents and told them, and they told me they're very proud of me. That was the moment for the really first time I came out of my comfort zone and the real growth started to happen. And I never stopped. I was on field on my birthdays, on festivals, and today I'm privileged to have to meet, to work with, or to interact with athletes from all over the world, more than 40 countries. So after a long time, I really got a chance to come home and spend time with my family because I always used to travel and work. I came home and I got a call that there's going to be a fitness-based reality show and I have to attend the meeting the next day morning. And it was already night and I had to reach there by the morning, and it used to take 7 to 8 hours from my place to reach Mumbai, because next day I got to be the head of that show, India's Asli Champion, with Bollywood celebrity Mr. Sunil Shetty. It was a really long time and I was just working, and my parents wanted to see me. So I thought I'll finish my ongoing assignment and I'll go home, spend some time with them. One day, I never used to take a break. I don't know what happened one day. Suddenly, I just thought I'll turn off my phone and I'll just sleep peacefully. And next morning, when I turned on my phone, I had so many messages and calls coming in telling my father has got a heart attack. By the time I reached there, it was too late. He was already in a coma. And my mom told me that his last words were, he wanted to talk to me and they tried calling me and I was not available. I was dying in a guilt. I just wanted him to wake up once and talk to me. But I had to make a decision to extubate him. It took a long, long time for me. I was home for so many months. Then I decided I need to get out to escape from this situation. I used to cry all the time. I had I had no idea what to do with the life. So I took an opportunity and went outside India to work with some athlete. I had no purpose left in my life. I didn't even know what I was doing with my life. But then I had to live for my mother. And in order to move on in life, I allowed some people to come inside. I was a complete mess. I didn't know what I was doing. I gave so much importance to those people, and they crushed me down spiritually, physically. So I started looking for answers. In Bhagavad Gita, the detachment has been beautifully explained. It says detachment is not staying away from something or getting rid of something or not owning something, but it is being around everything and not letting that consume you, own you, or affect you in any possible way. And that time I really understood the meaning of detachment, and that really helped. Somebody said a very beautiful line which stayed with me forever. Uh, it says, it's okay to be disappointed if the person or the people didn't turn out to be the way you needed them to be. But what you shouldn't do is do not grieve as if they were the one. You'll have to listen to this line again to understand the deep meaning behind it, and your mind takes over you. Most of the anxiety and stress is caused by what we think could happen. Most of the times, it isn't even real, it's just our mind playing tricks with it. So, the painful past bringing obnoxious experiences and which can't be changed, and the undefined future. Past experiences make us anxious and they make us think about the worst case scenarios, and you get caught up between past and the uncertain future. But the most amazing thing is the weapon that you need to battle that is your mind is present with you right now. The next thing you can do is label your emotions. So whenever you label any emotion, it reduces its intensity. Whether it's happy, sad, anxious, whatever you're feeling, acknowledge that to yourself. If somebody does bad things to you, so you know that the person is a bad person. But when you label that person as a bad person, you know that person is going to do bad things. So that reduces the intensity of pain in our head. Get it? So don't let anything get to you. Next thing you can do is figure out the way to deal with those uncomfortable emotions. Labeling your emotions is like diagnosing a problem. So think about it. How does it make you feel? How does that particular emotion make you feel? Once you're aware about your thoughts, you need to you need to replace those thoughts. For example, if you're gonna go for an interview, then instead of thinking I'm a mess, I'm gonna ruin it, replace those thoughts with empowering thoughts by saying to yourself that I have another chance today. I'm gonna prove myself. I'm going to be good. They're gonna love it. Replace bad habits with the good ones. So whatever good habits you swear by, they're all in vain if they are accompanied by the bad habits. Uh, for example, if you go to gym, work out sincerely, you're disciplined, but then you go and eat junk after that, then you're not going to achieve the results that you really want. So try to figure out in various ways what helps you, like meditation, running, breathing, playing games, listening to music. It differs for every person. And let me tell you, the changes are not going to happen overnight. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So when you have only two choices, one is giving up and other is being your strongest self, choose the other one, because you're not gonna get six-pack abs on day one when you go to gym. It takes consistency, hard work, discipline, eating right, and many other things. So whenever you practice these things, they become habitual, and it'll happen on autopilot mode. Like when you get up in the morning, you don't have to plan a separate time to brush your teeth, right? It happens automatically. The same way, in our day-to-day life, we are triggered by so many emotions even before the rational mind can register that. So do not make any decision based on any emotion. Talk to yourself several times a day. We often meet so many people in day to day lives, we exchange energies, their thoughts, but the one person we should check upon is we seldom do. That is ourselves. Throughout the day, I recommend, like sometimes we take medicines 2 to 3 times a day. The same way, check up on yourself, your mental health, how you're feeling, what emotions are being recurrently drawn out of you, what situation is affecting you, what can you do to replace those negative thoughts, what can you do to make your day productive and make right decisions for your life. I started doing all these things and I started counting my blessings. I have a life partner who understands and supports my dream. I have a roof over my head. And I started small, I started counting small, big things, and they really started to matter. There is one in few hundred trillion chances that you exist, but you do, right? So how can you question yourself, is my life worth living? So just start living it. It was my birthday last week and I entered my 30s, and I looked at myself into a mirror and realized I wasn't born to waste my life. And then I decided to make a choice to love myself again. I started doing things which I have not done in past 5 years. I gave confirmation to be speaker on TEDx. I have already lost 3 pounds. I have written almost 90% book within a week, and it will be published soon. And I choose to be unstoppable. So choose to love yourself, know that you're worthy, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Protect the remote control of your emotions. Thank you.